All right, a third thing we've already talked about many times here, but it was in the newsletter, was stress management. I just want to point out, Gallup recently indicated that 71% of leaders reported a significant increase in their stress levels since moving into their current role as leader. That's important, but that also might be true for our people. So as always, I encourage you to start with the obvious choices, but here's something that I want to add, and we put this into the newsletter, which is I think it's important for us as leaders to truly seek structural changes on how we can help our people address stress and concentrate their daily efforts. So if you hadn't seen last week's newsletter, you might also have missed one a couple of sessions back in which we discussed something called F30M. F30M is the shorthand for first 30 minutes of the day. And there's a link on our site to that newsletter, F30M. I think this is a structural approach to stress. So we talk an awful lot about the mindset approach to stress and the ways in which we can do choice management and time management. But structurally, you might need to actually interrupt the pattern. And F30M is turning out, as far as I'm concerned, to be one of the simplest things I've taught people to interrupt perhaps the bad habits that are causing a lot of stress for them, which is getting them simply to maximize the first 30 minutes of the day. You can do that as a leader by setting up the conditions to make F30M a group activity. So you might host a webinar for the first 30 minutes. You just host a web call, really. It's not even a webinar, where you basically say, I'm online if you're online. If you're in the office, I'm doing this from the training room. Let's just work on our work. And it's just an opportunity for people to maximize that first 30 minutes to do their follow-ups, to do their outreach, to read MLS data, to understand what's happening in terms of market trends. So structurally, you interrupt their daily pattern, perhaps of the first hour or two of the day being chaotic, but the impact is more than just on productivity, it's also on stress. It allows them to perhaps learn a new discipline, engage in a new one, to overemphasize it. I do think it's an important element personally as leaders, but understanding that our people may need a little stress short circuit, or at least an opportunity to try differently, we can make some changes there as well.